Presented by Fields Auto Group.
Hello, welcome into Cubs Pregame Live, presented by the Fields Auto Group. He is Todd Hollandsworth with a much better voice tonight. I'm David Kaplan. Holly, by the way, Cubs played their first two games. They probably didn't want a day off this soon after such good offensive pitching. They got a break. Now they're in Arizona.
Well, they're back down to Arizona, so I'd love to see them pick it right back up where they left off. You're right. The first two games of this season, outstanding. Great pitching, good bullpen, great offense, lots of fun, lots of good things going on in Anaheim, and certainly hoping that will be the case in Arizona, looking for those bats to wake up. And let me say this now, the Arizona Diamondbacks have had their issues on the mound already.
All right, Cubs offense managed 15 runs first two games. Pretty good, especially when you consider Schwarber, Bryant, Hayward, a combined 1 for 20. Not good there. That concern you at all?
No, not at all, because it speaks to the depth of this team, and that's the great thing about it. You've got interchangeable parts in a lot of ways. I've said openly that this team is you're going to have players on this team, guys that would be starting in just about any other place in the National League, fighting for at-bats on this team because of the depth. And then you get impact by guys like Caesar. I mean, that's just it. When you've got internal competition, Cap, I tell you this all the time, it's a great thing. It's not an angry competition. It's not like, oh, I want to get that guy. It's the kind of competition where players compete against each other. You hear it all the time in the rotation. Guys talk about, he did this, I want to do that. Well, when you've got players who are in a lot of ways fighting for at-bats, you create that internal competition, which is a very, very good thing.
If the start of a season for a player, let's call it Schwarber, Hayward, Bryant, do they start to press at all? At what point does that come, or nah?
Well, it really depends on the personality of the player. I mean, you take myself. I was pressing before we got to opening day. I mean, it didn't matter what I did in spring training, but that's how my personality is. I was amped up, ready to go, and I wanted results. Some players can understand and understand that whole it's a marathon terminology that you quite often hear, and the ability to take a day off and kind of work through your swing and be patient and not freak out. But not everybody does that. So really it does depend on the player. And I will say this, with the days off and sometimes, you feel like it gets a little bit longer. It does. It'll wear on your mind. You want to get going, but you realize that, listen, you're a big league hitter. You've done it before. And these guys that you personally, every guy on this roster has got somewhat of a track record, that track record will eventually catch up and start to speak for itself.
All right, let's hear from skipper Joe Maddon on the expectations surrounding his baseball team.
We know that we're a pretty good ball club. We know how everybody else feels about us, and that's great. You have to do it on the field. I don't really worry or concern myself about outside predictions because, I think even like last year, our goals for ourselves were really high. Our expectations for ourselves are really high. So it's nice that people think well of you, but at the end of the day, you have to go out and play it.
All right, there you go. There's some of Joe Maddon again. We're 2-0 to start the season. Let's look, though, at the Cubs lineup brought to you by Wrigleyville Sports. We've got Fowler in center, Hayward in right, Zobrist at second, Rizzo in the 4-hole, Bryant in the 5-hole at third, Schwarber, Montero, Russell, and Lackey. Dexter Fowler, 5 for 8 first two games. As you said in Tuesday's pregame show, or maybe I said it for you. As he go, they go.
Well, right. He's swinging the bat right now. And I got, you go back to the first at bat in game number 1 against Garrett Richards, which was a 98-mile-an-hour fastball over the plate, and he lines it in right, actually lines it down the line, and then you see him later line it to right as well. He is on time. That's what hitters want. You were asking me about players who were going through sometimes slumps early on in the season. How long do they last? Well, Dexter's a great example of what you're looking for specifically. And for most hitters, it's getting on the fastball, getting on elite velocity. It allows you to say, okay, that's my timing. That's where it's at. I got the barrel on about as high a velocity as I'm going to see this year. Now I go. Now I can move in the right direction. And what you're seeing from Dexter, in some regards, is predictable because of the fact, and what I saw in that first game against Richards, he was on 98 miles an hour. Now, he's had some at-bats, where he might have been a little off on a curveball or a changeup in the dirt. I kind of expect that because he's so locked in on that fastball right now. It's a great place to be. He's leading off. He's going to see a ton of fastballs in that position.
All right, let's talk about Kyle Schwarber back in after sitting out Tuesday night for Matt Caesar. He was hitless in the opener. Any worries that playing a platoon could hurt his confidence, or no, he gets it?
I don't think it's his personality, but I know he wants to get his swing going. That's the bottom line. And tonight's a great example of that. We're going to get to that in a second. I'm going to tell you why. You notice that there's a lot of lefties in the lineup tonight, but this is a real good matchup tonight for him, and I think he's going to get the swing going. Great place to hit. They've been in Arizona. It's spring training. You're back in Arizona again. Schwartz has just got to find his timing and find some consistent at-bats. And when that starts to happen, when you see a string of right-handers, he will start to produce. I have no worries about his swing or his approach right now.
Right, as for the Diamondbacks, they suffered a humongous loss before the regular season began. A.J. Pollock suffered a fractured right elbow that may cost him the entire season. How big a loss is this for the Diamondbacks?
Huge, absolutely huge. He and Paul Goldschmidt are their two best players. What Pollock did last year, he put himself in an elite class. What he does as a center fielder, what he does as power, his instincts in the game. You talk about that sixth sense, and he's got it. I mean, he's that type of baseball player, and the Arizona Diamondbacks know it. Let me say this, Cap. He's the kind of player you don't replace. You can't, because there's nobody talented enough to do it. So it's going to be a bit of a devastating loss. But I'll say this. It's an incredibly athletic organization. They've got some good pitching. They're led by Paul Goldschmidt. You may not be familiar with all the names that you see, but you will be familiar with the Chip Hale way. He loves to put guys in motion, loves to challenge his base runners, and likes to push the throttle, especially at home.
But just don't hype the opening game if you're in the media.
Shh.
It's time for Built for Business, presented by Comcast Business. Today we look at the National League home run leader since 2013. Tied for the lead with Giancarlo Stanton of the Marlins is Arizona first baseman Paul Goldschmidt with 89. Anthony Rizzo is third with 87. Comcast Business, built for business. There's a big-time bombers right there.
Oh, let me tell you something. Paul Goldschmidt and Anthony Rizzo are going to be duking this out, and I think, in some ways I look at it like somewhat unfortunate, just because they're going to share hardware, they're going to share all-star games. It's a healthy and good competition, and I know that Anthony has a great deal of respect for Paul Goldschmidt, and Paul Goldschmidt's a tremendous teammate. I've heard nothing but great things from Derek Hall about him, the team president. This guy is a leader. He's exactly what Anthony Rizzo is in a Diamondback version, but the problem is that they compete against each other statistically. They both play the same position. They both have the same style of game. He does it from the right side. Obviously, Anthony does it from the left side. They steal bases for first baseman. I mean, this is what they're all about. So they try to do everything to help their team win, and that's the bottom line with both these guys.
All right, here is the Diamondbacks lineup for Chip Hale. Segura's at second, Ahmed's at short. You got Goldschmidt, Peralta, Castillo, Lamb, Yasmani Tomas in left, Owings in center, and De La Rosa is pitching. Let's talk about Nick Ahmed, off to a very quick start, 6 for 11 in the first three games.
Yeah, swinging the bat. Yep, he's doing a fantastic job for him right now. Short, compact swing's got a little bit of power in there as well. This isn't a team really outside of Goldschmidt that has a tremendous amount of power, even though they play in a hitter's ballpark. So this is a team that goes gap to gap. They hit triples, they hit doubles. David Peralta's another guy as well who's been swinging a very hot bat. But it's about building innings and stringing them together. As I said, they do have a bit of power, but you kind of see the approach right now in the highlights. You pitch them away, they're going to take pitches away. If you pitch them in and you make a mistake, they can take you deep. But part of that, to me, has always been this ballpark. It's a great place to hit. The ball does fly in there, especially when the roof is closed. Those will be the circumstances. But in most of these hitters, if you stay away, you might give up the base hit and you might give up a little bit of damage, but you don't have the fear of this type of lineup taking you out the other way.
We have to take our first time out of Cubs Pregame Live, presented by the Fields Auto Group. When we come back, we'll look at the pitching matchup. And after wearing the Cardinal red for the past 2 seasons, John Lackey makes his Cubs debut this evening. What does his presence mean for the club? We'll discuss that topic next.
Cubs Pregame Live is presented by Fields Auto Group. Fields matters because you matter. See Fields first. FieldsAuto.com.
We try to stay directly within the Fields Auto Group. Fields has a wonderful reputation.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields of the Fields Auto Group. We simply treat people the way we want to be treated.
They're as invested in me as a person as I am in them, and that makes a huge difference. It makes me come back.
It includes our free loaners, free car washes, and cafes. It's all part of the Fields Matters program.
I felt confident in buying because of the service and the fact that this dealership would stand behind it.
Fields matters because you matter.
Yeah, not us.
Nah, no reruns here.
Yeah, we have X1 from Xfinity.
Everybody crochet tonight. I think we'll just stick with our TV shows.
Don't fall for DirecTV. Get 4 times more TV shows and movies on demand with Xfinity. Sign up today or get started with this great offer. Call or go online today.
We are the Coors Brewing Company. And our mountain is brewing the world's most refreshing beer. A beer proud enough to wear our name in big, red, scripted letters. That's why we lager, filter, and package cold. Because we believe every climb deserves a refreshing finish. Whatever your mountain, climb on.
Honda believes in helping you use your garage to its fullest potential. That's why we're offering great deals on the things you'll want in your garage, like the Honda CR-V. The best-selling SUV in America comes with a standard multi-angle rear-view camera and plenty of cargo space. Great for transporting lots of stuff, say to storage or the dump. Hurry to the Honda Dream Garage sales event. You've got a garage to fill. The most durable, longest-lasting brand in its class has great deals. Now at your Honda dealer.
Deep right, and it will go!
Daddy! 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 Daddy? Go Cubs! Daddy!
That was Dexter Fowler's daughter, Naya, watching her daddy hit a home run against the Angels on Tuesday night at the Big A in Anaheim. Welcome back. Cubs pregame live presented by the Fields Auto Group. Tuesday night in Anaheim, John Lester allowed just 1 run in 7 innings. He says he's a lot more comfortable this year. You played for a lot of teams in your career.
Was that a jab?
No, of
Yeah,
course
it is.
not. Everybody plays for 9 teams.
8.
Sorry. How long does it take to get used to a new situation? And I ask that because John Lackey coming from the Cards to the Cubs.
Well, it takes a little bit of time. You know, you get to your city, and even cities that you're familiar with, you know, that maybe you come through in the National League, you say, oh, I've played here a bunch of times throughout my career, now it's finally your home. I mean, that's just the newness of the job. It's finding your place, where you're going to live, know your routes to work, how you're going to get to the field, what kind of transportation you're going to do, you know, what's your regular lunch spot. Things have to really kind of take shape. And, you know, for me, it was always about my family. And when Marce got comfortable and she was comfortable with the kids, she felt good about things. I felt good about things. So always very important to know that. And I think you saw that with John. Like we were talking to John in the postseason last year. John looked like he was really in a good spot. Like things had started to materialize with the team. He was pitching well. He was happy. So it doesn't take an entire year to get there. It does take 2 or 3 months. But once you get into the routine and you find your way and you start to have your results, hey, listen, I think things settle in pretty easily.
All right, let's take a look at tonight's pitching matchup. It's brought to you by Bona, the original Italian beef, and it's awesome. John Lackey gets to start for the Cubbies. He'll be opposed by Ruby De La Rosa. Last season with the Cardinals, Lackey, 13-10 with a 2.77 ERA. Before he makes his first start as a member of the Chicago Cubs, he took a few minutes to visit with our Kelly Craw.
All right, guys, here with John Lackey, who is getting ready, getting set for the first start of the season with the Cubs. Go through, are there any different emotions doing this now with the team that you have behind you?
Not really. I mean, just preparing like a regular start. You know, I've done the new team thing a couple times already, so just drawing off those experiences and just hopefully try to get in the routine and try to have a good one.
Is it nice going back to Arizona, where you've spent like the last month anyway?
I should have stayed there, I guess. I mean, but yeah, I've definitely been pitching there a bunch lately, so it'll be familiar as far as weather and that kind of stuff.
When you see what the offense can do, I know it's a small sample size, just watching what they did for
really small, yeah.
but exciting nonetheless.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Way to call me out there.
If we score 9 tonight, I like our chances.
The dance party for you had to be one of the first.
I got my first dance party in last night. Yeah, that was interesting. I think that was like a playoff party. We won 1 game, so it was pretty sick. Yeah.
But you're supposed to enjoy wins. That's Joe's thing, is you can't ever take one for granted in the league.
I agree with that for sure. It's a tough league. The wins are tough to come by, so apparently we're going to enjoy them, yeah.
Well, I won't make you show us your best dance move yet, but before the end of the season, John, that's what we're going to do, okay?
Not a chance in hell.
Best of luck. Get the season started right, okay?
Yeah, thank you.
All right, so let's talk about Lackey. This guy's a bulldog, and he has said, look, you don't want to be around me the day I pitch. I'm just a little bit of a different cat. The other days, I'll be the best guy to you. What is it like bringing that edge to a team that I think needs a little edge?
Well, it certainly can help. There's no doubt about it, but it's the competitive nature that you love between the lines, and that's what teammates learn about each other. Listen, I was in the big leagues for 12 years. You don't love every teammate that you have. You're going to have a lot of friends. There's certainly going to be guys that you might be a little bit closer to, other guys that you're not. But you got to know everybody's rhythm and everybody's way, and that's what John Lackey really is telling you right there. Listen, 4 days of the week, leading up into that start, I'm a fun guy. I might be sitting around in the clubhouse. We might have lunch together. Maybe we play some cards, enjoy a good conversation, go out and shag together, whatever the case may be, but don't mess with me on game day. On game day, I've got an objective. Don't talk to me. Stay out of my way. You learn that about guys, and that really has seemed to me, and I've competed against John Lackey. He's one of the few left out there, but when he was breaking into the league, you could see that in his eyes when he was on the mound, that competitive nature. I got a base hit against him one time, and I remember running down the first base as I'm making my turn. And, I mean, he's having at it. He was not happy about the pitch, and he wasn't happy that I got to it. But I just remember the reaction, and I'm like, this
barking
guy, well, not so much me. He was really barking at himself. And it was so interesting to me because I was like, this guy, I mean, that's an intensity that not everybody has.
So when you have a guy who – did you have a teammate where you could have lunch on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and on Friday – you know, hey, man, I don't even say hi to him. I get out of his way.
Yeah, most guys are actually like that, really, when it comes down to their starts. I mean, as I was asking you, we were talking about that interview right there. Like, you know, most days when guys are making their start, they do not want to be disturbed. Hey, you know, you come in, and I had a few buddies that, you know, clearly I was a little bit tighter, too. I would call them really good friends, and I'd come in and kind of give them the business. Hey, man, what's going on? You know, give them a little pat on the back, and they just look at me like, hey, like, that's it, no more, no mas. I don't want to talk to you anymore. I don't care what you got to say. That's it, end of story. So most starters are really that way, but I think John takes it to another level because when you see him out there, there is an intensity that you don't see when he's away from the start or even when he's in front of the camera. He seems very mild, very calm, very relaxed. But when he competes, don't mess with the guy.
All right. Diamondbacks made a big splash in the offseason and brought in Zach Greinke and Shelby Miller. And in the first 2 games of the season, they've given up 13 earned runs, not what they expected. They're hoping for a better performance from De La Rosa, who has faced the Cubs twice in his career. And in those 2 outings, he's allowed 7 earned runs in 11 innings. Your thoughts on Ruby De La Rosa?
Well, Ruby De La Rosa, now listen, this guy's got good stuff. You're going to see high velocity tonight, and you're going to see a good changeup, good slider to go along with it. But this guy has had his issue, particularly against the lefties. And I'm going to get to this in a little bit farther in the show. I'm going to tell you about the numbers. But again, watch this guy tonight. He's going to make mistakes out over the plate. There's a reason why we've got 6 left-handed bats in the lineup tonight. He has had his struggles. And you mentioned the homers, Cap, or you mentioned the struggles that the starting pitching has had. Arizona Diamondbacks starters they've made 3 starts so far on the season, have given up 9 home runs, 3 from Greinke, 3 from Miller, 3 from Corbin yesterday. And then you got De La Rosa going tonight. He gave up 32 of them last year. So there's a little vibe in that building right now.
All right, we have to take another timeout on Cubs Pregame Live presented by the Fields Auto Group. Still to come, Holly gives us his keys to the game. We'll also take a look at some of the other headlines around baseball, including the Cardinals being swept away by the Pirates earlier this week.
Chicago's favorite spot for prime steaks, the freshest seafood, and world-famous Florida stone crab. Come on down to Joe's.
Students across Colorado,
across New Jersey, across Illinois are raising standards and achieving great things.
They're listening to teachers. They're practicing hard
and testing their skills.
That's a game plan for success.
Go to gameplanforsuccess.org.
See schools that are knocking it out of the park.
Vote for your favorite, and we might visit them with a check for $5,000.
Learn more and vote for your favorite school at gameplanforsuccess.org.
Great things start in garages. Like the start of your perfect Honda collection with great deals during the Honda Dream Garage sales event.
Including the all-new Honda Civic. The best-selling car in its class now has a redesigned exterior.
Nice wheels. Care to upgrade?
Yeah! Whoa, hey, yes, I do! Whoa. Hurry in. You've got a garage to fill. The Honda Dream Garage sales event has great deals on the all-new Civic. Now at your Honda dealer.
How fast is it? Plenty fast. It's not how fast you mow, it's how well you mow fast.
It's not how fast you mow, it's how well you mow fast.
It's not how fast you mow, it's how well you mow fast.
It's how well you mow fast. It's how well you mow fast.
Even if it doesn't catch on, doesn't mean it's not true. The John Deere Z-Track Z535M with our re-engineered deck to mow faster, better. To find out more about the Excel Deep Mower Deck, go to johndeere.com/mowwellfast.
For small business owners, it's not just about being good at what you do. Everything your customer sees tells a story. Carly caters fabulous food, and it's all about presentation. It's all about the look. That's the role that I can play, helping her build her brand. She's young, ambitious. She's, me, 15 years younger.
From printing to packing, shipping to marketing, together, there's nothing we can't solve. Go to a UPS store today to see how.
This program on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by ATI Physical Therapy, taking physical therapy to a higher level. Ask your doctor about ATI Physical Therapy.
Time for the ATI Physical Therapy Injury Report. The Cubs started the season with 5 players on the disabled list, the biggest name being Javier Baez, who's working his way back from a left thumb contusion. However, his rehab has been slowed after he took a ball at his head earlier this week. Joe Madden says it's doubtful he'll be ready to return to the lineup for Monday's home opener. Pitchers Dallas Feeler, Aaron Brooks, Zach Rosscup are also sidelined, as is infielder Christian Villanueva, probably gone months with a broken leg. Things beginning to get back to normal at the corner of Clark and Addison yesterday afternoon. The iconic Wrigley Field marquee returned to its rightful place where it's been since 1934, like just about everything connected with Cubs Home Park. It was getting some work done. The marquee was removed last fall while workers were renovating the friendly confines. Good to see, buddy.
Amen.
All right, welcome back to Cubs Pregame Live. Presented by the Fields Auto Group. One thing fans won't see, but is a major factor this offseason renovation, the new clubhouse for the Chicago Cubs. Holly, the old clubhouse was outdated even when you played for the Cubs 12 years ago. Crazy that they're getting this unbelievable, beautiful place now.
Well, I'm really happy for the players. Now, at the time, I was supposed to be one of the players that was getting to experiences. I remember I've told you, when I was there in 04 and 05, they brought us plans like, hey, look, we're talking about doing this. And we're like, do it. You see what we're doing. I mean, fans, we used to take our swings like pinch hitters, getting ready for the 5th and 6th inning. The net falls down from the ceiling in the clubhouse.
Right, and you would hit balls into Carlos Zambrano's locker.
Absolutely. Big Z would tell you that. But, think about that for a second. The state-of-the-art facilities that we've got all around baseball today, the success of Major League Baseball, this is an incredible building, Wrigley Field. We know that. But there had to be a better way to make it so your players are getting themselves ready for a game. All we had was a tee and a net that came down from the ceiling up until, I think, 2 years ago.
Crazy.
Unbelievable.
Cubs fans, what's almost as good as seeing Joe Madden's club start the season 2-0, seeing the Cardinals start 0-3. They were swept by the Pirates in Pittsburgh. Tell you what, you look, and this is a Cardinal team, they continue to always be able to run out the Piscottis and the Grichiks and all these guys. But you can't keep losing grade A pieces like Hayward and Lackey and not start to feel it.
No, not replace them, you're right, or replace them with what we think most people would think is really strong answers. You get Matt Holliday back, you're right, you mentioned some of these guys. This team's a bounce back, it's going to be respected, but let's be honest, the Pittsburgh Pirates absolutely took it to them. They outpitched them, they outhit them, they outhustled them, they outpositioned them a couple times as well. I watched a bunch of this series, and I'll tell you what, the St. Louis Cardinals had some issues in this series. Number one, I'll say this, more than anything, they didn't hit. But it's also not the deepest lineup, but we'll see. A lot of respect for the St. Louis Cardinals, this organization that has had a pretty strong run over the last decade, so we'll see where it goes.
All right, meanwhile, in his first 3 games with the New York Yankees, Starlin Castro, 7 for 12, 2 home runs, and 8 RBIs.
Is that pretty good?
Pretty decent.
Starlin feeling it. I got to go to spring training and be in Yankees camp for a little bit. I had a great conversation with Starlin. He's in a happy place. Starlin Castro fans, just so that you know, he's just his mind is clear. I guess the best way that I would describe it is I feel like a lot of weight has been lifted off his shoulders. He's been embraced in that clubhouse. He and Didi Gregorius are the young guys. He's never really been the young guy in our clubhouse. He's been the old guy in our clubhouse. So he's in a good spot. He's got big names around him. He's got a lot of the attention goes to other guys naturally on this team, and he hits farther down in the lineup. He's just in a really happy spot right now.
All right, time for our Fields Auto Group keys to the game. You need me to do those for you?
No, we're good. I'm recovering. I think
Throat's back.
We're in a good spot. Lots of lefties. All right, we talked about that already. We already saw the lineup, but here's what you want to know. The splits are incredible with Ruby De La Rosa. Righties hit 209 against him last year in 32 starts. Lefties hit 312 with a 382 on-base percentage and a 567 slugging percentage. I'm talking all season, people. The lefties, they hit 20 homers against him. The numbers are even worse at home. He's got a collective OPS over 1,000 left-handed hitters. So he has had his issues. Look to see if our lefties, our stacked lefties tonight, do most of the damage and get some things done. We talked about this a little bit. Number 2 is Pool Party. That's the pool that's out in right center field. So we've talked about the left-handed hitters. Here's what you need to know. Starters for the Diamondbacks have given up 9 home runs. Ruby De La Rosa has given up his fair share of them already. Look for the long ball tonight. I'm talking about lefties not only being great tonight offensively and getting their hits. I'm looking for some long balls, and I think this is going to be a great series to see if the Cubs can't bring out the big bats and start doing some damage with some long ones. That's number 2. Number 3, let's talk a little John Lackey. First impressions. First Cubs start going tonight. You've heard Cap say it. You've heard me say it. This guy is a bulldog, right? When he gets out there on the mound, he's got the look. He's got the knack. Well, let me describe it for you. This is what he does particularly well. Not only is this stuff good, you still see the 91-92. He stranded 83% of base runners last year, Cap. That's when he was at his best. When he had some traffic on the bases, he bears down and he gets out and he makes pitches. You're going to witness that tonight. It's how the Diamondbacks play. They like to put traffic out there, but he's going to keep it down.
All right, key performers, you get to go first.
I'm going Kyle Schwarber, bust out tonight.
I'm going Chris Bryant. Crew? Rizzo. They're going Rizzo. By the way, first player to ever hit a ball in the pool in Arizona. Who was it?
I have no idea.
The answer would be Mark Grace. There you go, buddy. Thanks for watching Cubs Pregame Live, presented by the Fields Auto Group. He's Holly, I'm Cap. We will see you on the other side after the ball game for the postgame show.
We try to stay directly within the Fields Auto Group. Fields has a wonderful reputation.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields of the Fields Auto Group. We simply treat people the way we want to be treated.
They're as invested in me as a person as I am in them, and that makes a huge difference. It makes me come back.
It includes our free loaners, free car washes, and cafes. It's all part of the Fields Matters program.
I felt confident in buying because of the service and the fact that this dealership would stand behind it.
Fields matters because you matter.
Thank you. Ordering Chinese food is a very predictable experience. I order B14, I get B14. No surprises. Buying business internet, on the other hand, can be a roller coaster white-knuckle thrill ride. You're promised one speed, but do you consistently get it? You do with Comcast Business. It's reliable, just like Kung Pao fish. Thank you, Ping.
Reliably fast internet starts at $59.95 a month. Comcast Business, built for business.
Wow, bear season was incredible, but it was absolutely freezing. So Wrigleyville Sports helped me warm up for bull season. They were on fire all year long. Then came the Blackhawks, and they got hot too. But now the boys of summer are back, and it's time to head to the south side. On second thought, it's a perfect day to get some sun in the bleachers.
For small business owners, it's not just about being good at what you do. Everything your customer sees tells a story. Carly caters fabulous food, and it's all about presentation. It's all about the look. That's the role that I can play, helping her build her brand.
She's young, ambitious. She's, me, 15 years younger.
From printing to packing, shipping to marketing, together, there's nothing we can't solve. Go to a UPS store today to see how.
Great things start in garages. Like the start of your perfect Honda collection with great deals during the Honda Dream Garage sales event.
Including the all-new Honda Civic. The best-selling car in its class now has a redesigned exterior.
Nice wheels. Care to upgrade?
Whoa, hey, yes, I do. Whoa.
Hurry in. You've got a garage to fill. The Honda Dream Garage sales event has great deals on the all-new Civic. Now at your Honda dealer.
Welcome to Chicago Cubs baseball on CSN, presented to you by State Farm. It's the opener of a 4-game weekend series, the Chicago Cubs and the Arizona Diamondbacks, here on Comcast Sportsnet. And welcome inside Chase Field. Roof closed tonight. Jim DeShays and Len Casper. The Cubs had an off day yesterday following a 2-game sweep in Anaheim.
Yeah, 2 games is obviously a very small sample, but an impressive show put on by the Cubs over there in Anaheim. In all phases of the game, the pitching was outstanding. Offensively, they hit for power. They had 4 home runs. They worked a lot of walks. Ended up outscoring the Angels 15-1 in that 2-game series. So far, so good for this young Cub club.
And there's some real high hopes here in Arizona, although they lost their center fielder, A.J. Pollock, due to injury. They lost 2 of 3 to the Rockies, gave up a ton of home runs in that series. Ruby De La Rosa will go for them, and John Lackey tonight will make his Cub debut.
Yeah, the ball really jumps in this ballpark. It's a tough place to pitch. John Lackey has pitched well here in the past. He was really good last year as a member of the St. Louis Cardinals. A 13-game winner, 2.77 ERA. Ruby De La Rosa 14-9 last year. Big issue with the home run ball. He allowed 32 round trippers in 2015.
So this weekend matchup will feature a couple of perennial MVP candidates, 2 of the best first basemen in baseball, Anthony Rizzo and Paul Goldschmidt. Cubs and D-backs are next.
Cubs baseball on CSN Chicago is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all. Ford, inviting you to check out their fuel-efficient lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com. And by Southwest Airlines, transparency, low fares, nothing to hide.
Yeah, not us.
Nah, no reruns here.
Yeah, we have X1 from Xfinity.
I think we'll just stick with our TV shows.
Don't fall for DirecTV. Get 4 times more TV shows and movies on demand with Xfinity. Sign up today or get started with this great offer. Call or go online today.
Hi, how can I help you?
Hi, we're on the adventure of a lifetime, and we need something that can keep up.
Well, the RAV4 is tech-savvy, has an NHTSA 5-star overall safety rating, and plenty of cargo space for your gear so you'll be ready for anything. Now, what kind of adventure are we talking about?
You're looking at him.
Aw, double trouble.
Right now, get 0% APR for 60 months on the all-new 2016 RAV4. Hurry in today. Toyota. Let's go places.
Hello?
Who is it?
It's BMO Harris. It's an automated call asking if we have any questions about the new checking account.
Nice.
Oh, this is clever. The robot or whatever just acknowledged I called it automated. Now it's saying I'm a human.
Could it actually be a human?
Oh, I am so sorry.
That's okay. It happens all the time.
That feeling you get when you discover a bank built for you, that's the BMO effect. BMO Harris Bank. We're here to help.
Hi, I'm David Kaplan. Back in our downtown Chicago studios. We'll get you back out to AZ for first pitch in just a couple minutes. Joe Madden continues to move Addison Russell all around the lineup. Tonight, he's batting in the 8-hole against the Diamondbacks.
A lot of it's based on where Miggy's right now. Miggy's swinging the bat really well, and I thought he needed to be protected. If you hit Addison 7th and Miggy 8th, then Miggy's got less protection with the pitcher. If you hit the pitcher 8th and Miggy 7th and Addison 9th, then it's the same thing. Miguel had a really good spring training, and he's followed up with a pretty nice night over in Anaheim, so I think he needs that kind of protection. I think Addison also swung the bat well. But somebody's got it 8th.
Elsewhere, Matt Latos making his White Sox debut in Oakland. He's in trouble in the fifth. But former A Brett Lawrie makes the diving stop on Coco Crisp, flips the second just in time, gets the out. Great play, inning over. In the sixth, the offense wakes up. Jose Abreu up, man aboard. And Jose Abreu has liftoff. That ball crushed, just clears the wall right center for a two-run jack. That's his first of the year. Sox in front, yes. They take 3 of 4 from the A's with a 6-1 thrashing. That's going to do it from our downtown Chicago studios. Len and Big Jim next. Cubs series opener with AZ. See you later.
Years ago, they thought it was impossible to brew a great-tasting light beer. So we got to brewing and told them to sip on this. The original light beer. Spelled different because it's brewed different.
I can't believe you get all this for just $5.
I can't believe you get all this for just $5.
I can't believe you never listen to me.
Yeah, right?
The $5 lunch with a DQ Sundae, because a deal isn't a deal without a real dessert.
New Ford SUVs have great technology that helps you feel unstoppable. Turbocharged EcoBoost engines merge exhilarating power with great fuel efficiency, while new voice-activated Sync 3 keeps you connected with an easy-to-use design. And even when your hands are full, your foot can lend a hand. Now get an Escape with 0% financing for 60 months plus $1,000 bonus cash.
Saturday night, get ready for a slugfest in primetime as Dexter Fowler and the boys try to blast the D-backs. Don't miss Game 3 of the series, live from Arizona. Cubs at Diamondbacks, Saturday night at 7 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Chicago, your favorite trivia show is back for an all-new season. Join us for our first taping of Beer Money this Tuesday at Pinheads in Yorkville at 5:30 p.m. Test your sports trivia knowledge and you could win big. Beer Money, presented by Coors Light.
If tonight's Cubs leadoff man gets a hit, Benny's Beverage Depot will donate $100 to the Greater Chicago Food Depository. Actually, a threat of rain, which we did not see at all during spring training, but the roof is retractable here, so it is closed. For Game 1 is John Lackey gets set to make his Chicago Cubs debut.
It was real steamy here earlier this afternoon. It's cooled off a little bit here in the ballpark. But because it has been mild, they've had the roof open for the most part until this threat of rain. And when it's like, if there's a 10% chance, that's a legitimate threat of rain here in the desert.
Set the umpires for you. Adrian Johnson will work home plate. The crew chief is Gary Cedarstrom. He's at first. Eric Cooper's at second. And Jim Wolf is at third. First of a 4-game series. Throwback night. As the Diamondbacks honor their first playoff team, 1999, so they're going to wear the purple and teal pinstripe home uniforms, and they will have a different uniform combination for all 4 of these games. Now the Cubs Southwest starting lineup, 15 runs in the 2-game sweep at the Angels. Dexter Fowler, a big part of that, 5 out of 8. Jason Hayward will bat second. Ben Zobrist had 4 hits in that series. Anthony Rizzo with a home run the other night. Bryant and Schwarber looking for their first hits of the season. The former Diamondback Miguel Montero will bat 7th ahead of Addison Russell and the pitcher John Lackey.
Diamondbacks had one of the best defensive teams in baseball last year, and they figured to be quite good again this year. A.J. Pollock, the talented center fielder, broke his elbow, so he's out indefinitely. Chris Owings, an infielder, has taken over and is earning great reviews for his play out in center field. He's flanked by Peralta and Tomas, right and left, respectively. Lamb Ahmed, on the left side of the infield. He can really pick at the shortstop Ahmed. Segura, the former Brewer. Goldschmidt, one of the best in the business at first. You know the catcher, it's Wellington Castillo. And Alexis, pursuing perfection, starting pitcher for the D-backs here tonight is Ruby, don't you dare call me Rubby De La Rosa. 14-game winner last year despite a high ERA, 4.67. Enjoyed great run support. Home runs were a bit of an issue. 32 long balls allowed in 188 and 2/3 innings. He can light up the radar gun. He can reach 100 miles an hour with his fastball. Will sit comfortably around 94. Also throws a slider, change, and occasionally a curveball.
Cubs enjoying a rare Wednesday off day. You know, a bunch of guys got out, played some golf. It got up to about 100 degrees. I mean, we were just here less than a week ago, and all of a sudden it feels like summer.
Yeah, it's a kind of a weird little pattern they're in, but it's supposed to, it is, like, again, a chance of rain and maybe cooling off a little bit over the weekend.
And there will be a lot of Cub fans in the ballpark this weekend, as is always the case here in Phoenix. The Cubs have not fared very well in this ballpark over the last few years. They have lost 13 of their last 17 games here, and their last series victory came in 2010. But dating back to the end of last season, they've now won 11 straight on the road.
Something's got to give.
Here's Dexter Fowler. Lamb even with a bag at third. Everybody else back. Playing pretty much straight away in the outfield, and we are underway. 94 and a strike from De La Rosa.
Straight away and deep in the outfield. This ballpark, big alleys, big corners, yields lots of doubles and triples. So they're going to play a little deeper, especially for a speed guy like Fowler. You want to make sure you can cut the ball off and prevent it from rolling all the way to the wall.
De La Rosa coming back quickly, and that is in the dirt. On a changeup. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hayward and Zobrist to follow.
Well, the way Dexter was swinging in Anaheim, he probably wishes there wasn't that off day yesterday.
Five for 8 to start the season with a double and a home run. And he sends a high fly ball out into center field. It is Chris Owings, who has gotten high marks for his transition to the outfield. He's a middle infielder by trade. Well, they, on paper at least, are going to really miss A.J. Pollock offensively.
Yeah, Pollock, a very underrated player, but one of the better outfielders in the National League. A tremendous defender and a real good hitter as well. Owings will share time out there with young Socrates Brito.
Hayward 1 for 9 in Anaheim. Going with a different look with the knock socks, as they call them. Maybe change up his luck a bit. Foul tipped. 1-1 on Hayward. So after this series, it's back home. Cubs will open Wrigley Field on Monday night against the Reds. To bouncer to Gene Segura.
Yeah, this is where the hitters want to put a little something in the bank too. They had the beautiful hitting weather over in California, great hitting environment here, but you know, heading into that homestand, it's going to be cold and rainy, and wind is always a factor, and it should not be very hitter-friendly conditions at Wrigley next week.
Ben Zobrist, 4 out of 9 to start the year. So he really tucks that front shoulder in. His chin basically touching that right shoulder as he gets ready to hit. This is going to be an easy first inning for De La Rosa as the shortstop Ahmed makes a catch. Cubs go quietly. John Lackey to the mound when we come back.
Which side is our best side? This one? That one? You know what? Actually, our best side is this one. Our heart. Because only an airline with a heart would give you great deals like this. Now you can fly for as low as $69 one way. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Low fares, nothing to hide. That's transparency.
It's 400 feet to the center field wall at Wrigley Field. It's about 400 feet from the front to the back at Binny's Beverage Depot in Lincoln Park. We have 3,000 beers, 4,000 spirits, 7,000 wines, and one of the coolest bars in Chicago. Holy cow.
Taking the hassle out of yard work just got even easier. During the Echo National Sales Event, get a pro-grade Echo trimmer or handheld blower for only $149.99 each, backed by a 5-year warranty. But hurry, these deals will be gone before you know it. So take back your yard with Echo.
What's the internet saying about the quesalupa?
I have romantic feelings for the quesalupa. Oh, my. Quesalupa for president. I saw a picture of a quesalupa in a newspaper, and it made me pick up a newspaper. Yo, the quesalupa is banging. Yeah. About to ascend to food heaven on the cheese-filled wings of the angels.
Taste what the internet is raving about. The quesalupa from Taco Bell.
Now the Diamondbacks starting lineup, they should score a bunch of runs this year. It's brought to you by Southwest. Gene Segura off to a very good start after a huge spring. Nick Ahmed, not known for his bat, but he's going to hit second ahead of Paul Goldschmidt. Peralta in right, the former Cub Wellington Castillo back of the plate. Jake Lamb at third, Yasmani Tomas in left. Owings in center, and De La Rosa, the pitcher, hitting ninth.
Where are the Cubs deployed? Well, right here. Schwarber's in left, Fowler's in center, Hayward's in right. Bryant Russell, Zobrist, Rizzo. Third to first. Get used to seeing that. Montero's behind the plate for Big John Lackey.
His first pitch swung on and hit to deep right. Hayward is back at the fence, and it is gone. A first pitch home run for Gene Segura. And the Cubs trail for the first time this season.
Pitch might have actually been out of the strike zone. It was up. John Lackey threw strike one last year more than anybody in Major League Baseball except for Max Scherzer. So you can understand the Diamondbacks having an aggressive mindset here tonight, trying to jump on that first one. Yeah, that pitch is way up there, and he was able to ride it out of here to the opposite field.
So not the kind of start John wanted. Outside for a ball on Nick Ahmed, who hit ninth behind the pitcher in that Rockies series. Chip Hale riding the hot hand.
Well, John Lackey is our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher here tonight. He can't be perfect, but he can still be good. And last year he was lights out, a 13-game winner. He does that every year, 12 consecutive seasons, double digits in the win column, except for when he was hurt. Low ERA, a strike thrower. He'll go fastball 90 to 94, but sit, 91, 92 for the most part. It's all about command for him. Slider, curve, and change. And then when he's on his game, he'll attack with that heater. He'll throw it 2/3 of the time. We can get up to 95 with that one.
You see Ahmed again. He's a premier defender. Don't expect too much offense from him, but off to a very good start. Swing and a miss, strike three.
Yeah, I think in a perfect world, Chip Hale would rather have some better on-base guys hitting in front of Paul Goldschmidt, but he just doesn't have it. Certainly not with these two guys. I mean, Segura and Ahmed both near the bottom of the league in terms of on-base percentage last year.
There's Chip Hale. In his second season managing the Diamondbacks. Heavy expectations going into this year with the acquisition of Shelby Miller, the big signing of Zach Greinke. He kind of got a little cranky with the media after they lost on opening day and then apologized the next day. Said they were overhyping game one a little bit too much. 1-1 on Goldschmidt.
And Lackey will do that every now and then too. Change the arm angle, a little drop down that time. He's a tough-minded guy.
Drops down again. That one missed, and it's 2-2.
Goldschmidt has tremendous power, all parts of the ballpark.
And he has always hurt Cubs pitching. 371 in his career. That'll get out of play. So I don't know if you've spent any time in Abilene, Texas, John Lackey's hometown.
No, I've never passed through Abilene.
Second round pick of the Angels, 1999. Full count, 3-2. If you haven't seen Paul Goldschmidt as an offensive player, he's kind of the right-handed version of Anthony Rizzo. He'll take walks, hits home runs, does everything well.
He finished second in the league last year in on-base plus slugging behind Bryce Harper. Anthony was fourth in that department. Yeah, he can steal a bag for you. He swiped 21 bases last year.
A couple years older than Rizzo. He's 28. And he just took ball four. Lackey really wanted it, didn't get it. So I guess we would say John Lackey's been a three true outcome pitcher, right?
Yep.
Home run, strikeout, walk to begin his Cubs career.
Yeah, and I think the home run might have influenced the walk, right? Segura popped him, and then you get a little gun shy with a guy like Goldschmidt up there. And I also think that Goldschmidt's a guy you identify in this lineup as somebody you're going to pitch very carefully to. Although this guy's no slouch either.
No, he's not. David Peralta. Look at the year he had last year. And a shot of Goldschmidt there earlier. Dave McKay, former Cub coach, is at first for the Diamondbacks. And Matt Williams, former Diamondbacks player and coach, fresh off a roller coaster ride in a couple of years as the Nationals manager, is back as their third base coach. So he's manager of the year one year, and then the next year, which was last year, just about everything that could go wrong, it seemed like, did in Washington. Good lead by Goldschmidt.
Yeah, that's the nature of the game, right? One year they want to throw a parade for you, and the next they're running you out of town.
I believe, is he one of the legends? I think he is.
I think that's him next to
That's
Randy
him next.
Johnson.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. That's trouble. It's a fair ball. Goldschmidt on his way to third. He's going to be held there. Peralta, the converted pitcher, has a double, and he's 6 out of 15 to start the year.
Yeah, we talk about that stat OPS on base plus slugging. Among outfielders last year, he was second in the National League behind Harper. Rides this one into the corner again. This big ballpark, any little misplay out there, and it's an extra 90 feet. If Kyle doesn't play this carom just right, Goldschmidt's going to score, and Peralta would have a chance to get to third base.
So some trouble here for Lackey as he faces ex-Cub Wellington Castillo. And he pops it up. Montero and Rizzo and Anthony, could probably hear him call for it. And a big second out.
Yep. First pitch swinging. This time it's a slider popped up by Castillo. You see Rizzo coming in and loud and clear running Montero off.
Jake Lamb, the third baseman. Diamondbacks starting the year 1-2 after going 24-8 in spring training.
Gave up 20 runs in that 3-game set with the Rockies.
10 home runs they allowed.
Well, yeah, and the kid there, Trevor Story, had 4 of them. Yeah, you mentioned the high expectations here. They spent a bundle of money on in acquiring Zach Greinke, and they spent a lot in terms of prospects to acquire Shelby Miller. So they're in go for it mode here.
Towards center, and that's going to knock in a pair. Goldschmidt and Peralta are in, and it's a 3-run first for the Diamondbacks.
Boy, that breaking ball down below the knees, and Lamb keeps his head right on it. Just pings it up the middle. Didn't really hit it all that hard, but it was well placed. This is John Lackey's 3rd career start in this ballpark, and the previous 2 were outstanding. 7 innings, 1 run unearned back in 09, and then last year 7 innings, 1 run.
Osmani Tomas in the air. Right field, it's Hayward to make the catch. It's 3-0 Diamondbacks, and you're watching Cubs baseball on CSN, brought to you by State Farm.
Yeah, I'm married. Does it matter? You do that for me? Really? Yeah, I'd like that.
Who are you talking to?
It's Jake from State Farm. Sounds like a really good deal.
Jake from State Farm at 3 in the morning? Who is this?
It's Jake from State Farm.
What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm?
Khakis?
She sounds hideous.
Well, she's a guy, so.
Another reason more people stay with State Farm. Get to a better state.
Welcome to the Mitsubishi Outlander Sport Network, everybody. We've got 20 minutes till sundown. Will they make it? This might be a good time for all-wheel control. There's the decision. Off-road we go. With a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty and a 2.4-liter engine, they're powering into that final stretch. What a finish with time to spare. The new 2016 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport. Make your drive a sport.
Come in now and get 0% APR for 72 months.
To thrive in an ever-changing environment, companies must adapt. But one thing should remain constant: a financial relationship with someone that understands and cares about your business. PNC Corporate and Institutional Banking offers strategies tailored to your company's needs. Know that our dedicated teams of local experts offer insight to help you achieve your business objectives. See how working with PNC can help your company grow at pnc.com/ideas.
On Monday, the Bulls fight for their playoff lives as they head down to the Big Easy for a must-win game against the Pelicans. There's a basketball team named the Pelicans. Coverage starts at 6:30 with Bulls pregame live presented by Coors Light. on CSN Chicago. What is these animals?
Are you familiar with the New Orleans Pelicans?
I am now.
Good to see Darnell McDonald, mental skills coach and former big leaguer. And all-around good guy.
And clearly the most stylish member of the Cubs traveling party. It's not even close.
So the Cubs in a 3-0 hole here. The first time they've trailed in the first 3 games to start the season.
Well, there's some nights you get down early like this and you feel like, man, it's a huge hill to climb. But in this ballpark, with this lineup, not so much.
Missed the inside.
De La Rosa pounding away at that inside corner. You got enough giddy up on that heater to compete in there.
One, two, and he gets hit 30 times last year. Never feels good, does it?
No, it doesn't. It's just the byproduct of the approach. He's right up on top of home plate, so they're gonna pitch him in. If you don't challenge Anthony and you don't try to push him off the plate a little bit, he's just gonna wear you out. Goldschmidt got whacked the other day too in the hand.
So here's Chris Bryant. Cubs have a base runner for the first time against De La Rosa, who will fire to first. Chris still looking for his first hit, 0 for 7 in Anaheim. On pause and the pitch. And drilled into the left field corner for his first hit. Rizzo on his way to third. Bryant to second. And the Cubs have something cooking. Second and third. Nobody out.
At this point, De La Rosa would feel good about getting out of this, allowing just one. That fastball intended to be outside part of the plate, runs back to the inner half. And then it was just buggy whipped into left field by Chris Bryant, KB. Infield stays back. Great RBI opportunity here for Schwarber.
0 for 4 in the opener Monday night. And takes a strike. We expect to see him behind the plate with Jason Hamill. Although you've got a lefty, Robbie Ray, on the mound for the Diamondbacks tomorrow night. I think the fact that he worked with Hamill a lot in spring training, I think Joe will have that trump the platoon thing.
Yeah, I would agree.
Outside for a ball. And it's 1-1. Although you got a couple of guys, David Ross and Matt Caesar, swinging the bats well. It's got some interesting, I would say, good problems right now, right?
Many choices. Yep. A lot of options.
Infield back, 1-1, swing and a miss.
Yeah, and we talked about this last year. If you have a hard time pulling the trigger, making decisions like I do, I'd probably never put out a lineup card. I like this guy here. No, let's go. I have to call my bench coach over here.
You do it.
Pick it out of a hat. De La Rosa, as you see in our pitch tracks from Menards, working away from Schwarber. And tries a changeup down and in.
De La Rosa signed originally by the Dodgers in 07, traded to Boston October of 2012, and then traded here prior to last season. JD mentioned all the home runs he allowed. He did lead their staff in wins, starts, innings, and strikeouts. I think it's fair to say, with all due respect to Ruby De La Rosa, if he leads their team in those categories this year, that's not going to be a good year for the Diamondbacks.
It would be the $30 million of paying Greinke this year would probably not be well spent if that were the case. Unless this kid just likes that. You know, this guy at the time was one of the better pitching prospects in baseball. Now that kind of, you know, the shine is off a little bit. He struggled. He's command issues, but he did pitch a full season last year, and he still has that big fastball. 27 years of age. Maybe the light comes on for him this year.
3-2 with Montero on deck. Hit batter and a double to start this second inning.
And De La Rosa and his battery mate Wellington Castillo grew up in the same neighborhood. De La Rosa didn't play much baseball. He played La Plaquita, which is similar to cricket.
From Santo Domingo, largest city in the Dominican.
Schwarber played football, which is similar to rugby.
We're trying to get to the same sport via cricket and rugby. 3-2 on him. And the pitch. We'll try it again.
Spoiled a good one. 97 running off the outside corner. You're in the protect mode a little bit. You got to respect the breaking ball and the changeup. So you're just fighting off that heater.
And they're loaded. Hey, Cub fans, let's go. Show your support of Cubs baseball from the beginning. Tickets are still available for opening week at Wrigley Field against the Reds and the Rockies. Get your tickets now at Cubs.com. An early visit to the mound from Mike Butcher, the new pitching coach. He replaced Mike Harkey, and he's got 10 seconds left as the shot clock moves down from 30. Coaching visits now to the mound are timed. Time's up, Mike.
It doesn't take long for Adrian Johnson, the home plate umpire, to work his way out there to break it up.
Number 47.
They should have countdown music for those visits, kind of like maybe the Jeopardy theme for Final Jeopardy. Speaking of Jeopardy, bases juiced, nobody out for Montero, who's been swinging it well. And pretty darn good numbers with the bases loaded, too.
The former Diamondback in a pretty good spot. 3 on, nobody out. Ball 1.
Joe Madden said he was going to go deep tonight.
Well, the best time to do that would be with 3 men on base, mathematically speaking. And the 1-0 fouled off.
Montero's got a very good approach at the plate, and you know, he's looking for something to drive. He usually tries to stay in the middle of the diamond in this situation. He doesn't want to roll over and hit into a double play. Got a little greedy there. That was a nasty pitch. 89-mile-an-hour slider.
He homered off Fernando Salas on opening night in Anaheim. Addison Russell on deck. First time the Cubs have had to put the pitcher in the batting order. Lackey hitting ninth tonight. But it's interesting, you know, Joe, most of last year he hit the pitcher eighth. Now he's going back to the pitcher batting ninth, and a lot of other managers are doing what he did last year.
Bruce Bochy's doing it a little bit.
Chip Hale. The 1-2, he got him. Big first out for De La Rosa.
Montero usually pretty patient, but you just had a sense he was thinking about doing something big in that bat. Went after a couple pitches out of the zone, the slider down and in, and then the changeup down and away. Both were really well executed pitches by De La Rosa.
Russell, the third youngest player in the National League, 22 years, 75 days. Obviously, this is where you got to get it done. With one out and the pitcher on deck.
Good take. De La Rosa's got good action on that slider.
So he's got the black and red shoes, that red glove. Doesn't really match what he's wearing tonight, but normally what the Diamondbacks wear, for sure. And a base hit. Here comes Rizzo. Bryant around third. He's going to score. It's 3-2. Addison Russell's first hit of the season.
No let up in this lineup. And again, not a bad pitch at all. Slider outer third and down a little bit.
Well, it looked to me, JD, like Chris Owings had a play possibly on Kyle Schwarber at second. Instead of throwing behind the runner, he threw toward third.
Yeah, it's kind of a high-risk play, and he hasn't played a lot of outfield. He hasn't been in the outfield since high school, and I think he's probably been told on plays like that, make the cautious play. They love the way he goes after the ball out there. He looks very comfortable, but plays like that, they probably don't want him trying to overthink things.
Here's Lackey, a career 108 hitter. And his job is to get two into scoring position.
Joe Madden does not like the bunt. Obviously, it's a different animal when you got your pitcher up there, but a lot of times last year he'd turn his pitchers loose.
Yep. Squared and then took it.
It was just that same way. A lot of times he'd wait until 2 strikes and then have them bunt. Take a whack at one, maybe try a slug bunt, and if nothing gets done, then go ahead and get the bunt down.
Foul ball. Adrian Johnson made the call at home plate.
Comes now in to have a word with Lackey. He sets up in pretty good position. Then he kind of brings the bat head back, loses his angle. Cubs used the sacrifice, I believe, fewer than or less than any team in the league last year. They and the Mets are right down here in the bottom, the two teams that ended up playing in the LCS.
And a late swing that time for strike 3. It's a better result than hitting into a double play, though. Dexter Fowler. Here's Fowler. Flying to center to start the game.
Yeah, Mets used the sacrifice 29 times last year. Fewest in the league. Cubs next to them at 32.
And a strike called. The 0-1 hit on the ground to Segura to end the inning. Addison Russell with a 2-run single. Cubs within 1. It's 3-2 in the second.
Ma, Pa, why do we settle for cable?
Because we're settlers, and that's what we do.
But with DirecTV and AT&T, you can get your TV and wireless service from one provider.
Are not we your providers? Do we not provide you with this succulent jackrabbit pie, this delicious gray water soup, and a single lick off the family lolly every harvest moon?
Don't be a settler. Get a $100 reward card when you switch to DirecTV.
Honda believes in helping you use your garage to its fullest potential. That's why we're offering great deals on the things you'll want in your garage, like the Honda CR-V. The best-selling SUV in America comes with a standard multi-angle rear-view camera and plenty of cargo space. Great for transporting lots of stuff, say to storage or a dump. Hurry to the Honda Dream Garage sales event. You've got a garage to fill. The most durable, longest-lasting brand in its class has great deals. Now at your Honda dealer.
Oh, let's go. That's pretty sweet.
The starting lineup for your Chicago Bulls.
This is the most ridiculous thing that's ever happened in my life.
This week only, T-Mobile customers can get a free season-long subscription to MLB.TV Premium. Go to T-Mobile.com/MLB to sign up now and catch every moment on America's fastest-growing LTE network. Addison Russell knocking in a couple. 3-2, and we've only played an inning and a half. 8-9-1 for the Diamondbacks as John Lackey tries to settle in. That running fastball in and off the plate on Owings, making his third start out of 4 games in the center field. 1 game in the outfield at any pro level prior to this year, and that was back in 2011 in left field in high A. We'll see Socrates Brito at some point this weekend out there. Hayward comes in. A.J. Pollock, we mentioned his injury. It looked fairly innocuous. Spring training right at the end. It's the second time he's broken that elbow right there as he tried to get up. It's kind of a hybrid slide. It didn't look like a very dangerous slide, did it?
No, I think it was when he put his weight on his arm as he tried to push himself up. And, you know, as you mentioned, he missed all of 2010, his second year in pro ball with a broken elbow. So he had a pin in there, and And I guess every spring it would kind of bug him a little bit, and he didn't play a whole lot during the exhibition season this year. And they thought they'd just kind of calm down enough. So, clearly it was going to blow. There was something going on in there. Another surgery, and may or may not be back this year.
De La Rosa strikes out.
But A.J. Pollock has turned into one of the better players in the National League. Last year, hit .315. He hits home runs. He steals bases.
Second baseman.
Plays tremendous defense. Funny, you think you have depth, and his injury, and then, of course, the trade of Ender Inciardi to the Braves. He was a tremendous defender as well. All of a sudden, that depth is no longer there.
Well, they picked up Segura from Milwaukee. They already had Owings at second and Ahmed at short. They were going to find a way to play all three, and now Owings getting his time in center.
Gene Segura needed a change of scenery. He was an outstanding rookie with the Brewers in 2013, made the All-Star team. The last 2 years, his numbers way off.
Yeah, certainly a huge mitigating circumstance last couple of years. A tragic death of his 9-month-old son. An unspeakable ordeal to have to endure for any parent. And he cranks this one out into deep left center. Schwarber, Fowler, and neither can catch it. I hope they're all right. Schwarber's injured. Segura coming around third. He's going to try to score. Relay throw to the plate. It's a home run. The biggest concern right now for the Cubs is Kyle Schwarber. He is in major pain. Segura looks a little shaken up as well. Joe Madden running out along with Ed Halbert.
Oh. Dexter tries to go low to try to avoid Kyle at the end. And he is going all out, eyes on the ball. Oh, my goodness.
So an inside the park home run for Segura. That looked very bad for Kyle Schwarber.
Oh.
Left leg or knee, it appears. P.J. Mainville, Ed Halber attending to Kyle.
Such a big outfield to cover, so it's not like one guy can yield to the other on a ball like that. Both guys in hot pursuit, both feeling like they had a shot at it. And just an unfortunate circumstance of great effort.
You see every position player except for pitcher and catcher are out on the warning track, expressing concern for their teammate. Now he's grabbing the left ankle or foot. This is going to take some time to get him back to the dugout.
Have a golf cart.
They've got to get a cart. Yeah. See P.J. Mainville asking. And obviously we'll get another look at it. I don't know how you can avoid that. The crowd's going crazy. Both guys are looking at the ball. It's hard to hear.
Right, and it's not one of those situations where one guy is got a better chance to make a play on the ball, so he's going to run the other guy off. Both guys are just going full speed, trying to track that thing down.
So it looks like Tommy LaStella is going to come in and play third, and Chris Bryant's going to go out to left.
It's obviously a huge blow for the Cubs, but for Kyle, 2 days into the season, so much optimism and high expectations. Hopefully it's not as severe as well. I mean, the fact that he was able to put a little weight on it there at the end. So we'll just have to wait and see.
So LaStella will come in and play third. Bryant will head out to left. Well, that was a very high fly ball, and once it eluded both outfielders, it almost became a no-doubter inside the park home run. Segura, I thought he might have been shaken up. I think he had just lost his breath after rounding the bases. So he has 2 home runs in this game.
Now then, shortstop, Nick Ahmed.
Two outs in the inning. Here's Nick Ahmed. And a swing and a miss. Lackey on an 0-1. And it's 0-2.
Making a little adjustment here. The fastball command has not been there for him so far tonight. He goes curveball slider to start this sequence with Ahmed.
And the inning is over. A devastating one for the Cubs. They lose their left fielder. Segura with a home run. It's 4-2.
Double up on great brands at Bass Pro Shops. Plus, wake up to a summer of fun with a new boat. Now through April 17th, you can choose from select Suntracker, Regency, and Tahoe boats and receive a Bass Pro gift card worth up to $2,000.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs. I'm attorney Howard Ankin. If you've been hurt at work or injured in an auto accident, I'd like to be your lawyer. Please call me at 312-600-0000. Ankin Law. Injury law. Made personal.
Hi, how can I help you?
Hi, we're on the adventure of a lifetime and we need something that can keep up.
Well, the RAV4 is tech savvy, has an NHTSA 5-star overall safety rating, and plenty of cargo space for your gear so you'll be ready for anything. Now, what kind of adventure are we talking about?
You're looking at him.
Aw, double trouble.
Right now, get 0% APR for 60 months on the all-new 2016 RAV4. Hurry in today. Toyota. Let's go places.
Grow the best garden with products from Menards. Stop by today and see Menards' huge selection of burpee seeds. With over 400 varieties to choose from, you can grow your perfect garden. All burpee garden seed packets are 20% off. Put the final touches on your landscaping with edging from Mastermark. Its diamond-shaped bottom keeps edging firmly in place and looking beautiful for years. Get a 20-foot roll for just $4.99.
Save big money at Menards.
Diamondbacks lead 4-2. We head to the third. Take home a game used or autographed item and help benefit Cubs charities. Cubs Authentics is the premier outlet for all MLB authenticated Cubs memorabilia. Visit Cubs.com/authentics to bid on weekly auction items and to pre-order game-used bases and baseballs. The Cubs will donate net proceeds from the sale of Cubs Authentics to Cubs charities.
Big start for Gene Segura. He is now 8 out of 16. He's got 2 homers tonight. And De La Rosa with a first pitch strike on Jason Hayward. Fouled near the on-deck circle. Lots of other action earlier today. Yankees beat Houston 8-5. Starlin Castro's off to quite a start. The former Cub in his first 3 games as a Yankees, hitting .583, 2 homers and 8 RBIs.
That 8 RBI in 3 games is a franchise record. In the first 3 games of a season.
Fastball is outside. 2-2. Zobrist and Rizzo to follow. The Reds swept the Phillies, so they're 3-0 to start the season. 10-6 the final today. We'll see the Reds on Monday night at Wrigley. Line shot out toward the alley. Hayward will stop. It's a single. Nice play by Peralta to cut that ball off. That's 2, maybe 3 if it gets by him. A lot of room in the gaps here.
Yeah, Hayward with his gap-to-gap approach, if he were to play his home games here, he'd probably have 40 doubles. That fastball is center cut right down the middle for Hayward, and the Cubs are off and running again here in the third.
Jay Bruce knocked in 5, hit 2 home runs today for the Reds.
Robert Stevenson, the winning pitcher in his major league debut for Cincinnati.
So the mound was his treasure island?
It was indeed. .23 steals for Hayward last year. He was caught only 3 times, so he's got De La Rosa's attention. Don't be surprised to see Wellington Castillo take a shot at him down there too. Willie likes the pickoff throw behind the left-handed hitter.
One 1-0 on Zobrist. Ben is 34. He'll turn 35 in late May. Pitcher strike. Boy, looked like it was off the plate, according to our Menards pitch tracks.
Well, you can't rule out Hayward running in this situation, but in this ballpark, you got to be careful not to make outs on the bases because there's an opportunity just to slug your way to a bunch of runs.
Diamondbacks honoring the late Joe Garagiola, who passed away in late March. Used to love seeing Joe up here in the press box, which is named after him. So the Diamondbacks will have that Joe patch. It's a nice touch with the catcher's mask in the dirt.
Yeah, I guess somewhat fitting that Joe passed away the same year as good buddy Yogi Berra did. Right now, Yogi's got his backup catcher up there.
That's right.
In baseball heaven.
Joe won the Buck O'Neill Lifetime Achievement Award 2 years ago, the Bud Selig Award 2010, the Fort C. Frick Award 1991. Three balls and a strike. De La Rosa really slows it down with men on base. The pitch. He walked him.
Well, we saw this in Anaheim. This Cub lineup with a patient approach really make a starting pitcher work. He got through the first quickly. Just a handful of pitches, but now they're really making him work.
Chip Hale going, well, we scored a lot of runs and we gave up a ton against the Rockies, and it feels like we might do the same tonight.
Familiar script here.
Yep. As Rizzo steps in, we want to welcome all our viewers in Putnam County, Illinois, watching on McNabb cable and satellite.
Where they have the spelling bee? There, Putnam. There was a play, a Broadway play.
Really?
Putnam County spelling bee or something like that. Well, here's the game on. Rizzo back on top of the plate, and De La Rosa and Castillo go right back in there with the heater.
His 599th career game.
He hit an absolute bomb the other day in Anaheim the other night.
It's low and it's 2-0. Well, he has finally arrived. He has a food product named after him. Make sure you try Rizzo's new honey nut toasted oats. That's real. And part of the proceeds will benefit his charitable foundation. Congratulations to Anthony Rizzo. So if he had an extra bowl of Rizzo's today, that would help.
See how far he can hit it.
Yeah.
De La Rosa's attention, he was thrown over there with Hayward on first base. Now he's spinning back there. I mean, he's got a 2-0 count to a very dangerous hitter with two men on base. His attention ought to be right there, 60 feet 6 inches away. Don't play.
PLBsports.com, Amazon.com, and some Chicago area Jewel Osco stores. You can buy the Rizzo's cereal. Yeah, at some point he does have to throw a pitch, unless you can find a way to pick off both runners, and then there's still only 2 outs. That would change the game strategy quite a bit if he could just hold the ball and all of a sudden we'd go to the 7th inning.
He's in the 4 corners here, but he's getting booed by not only the Cub fans that are here, but I think a lot of the Diamondback fans are a little restless too. And this is a guy with plus stuff, and his mindset should be, I'm the predator. I'm on the attack because I got a 96-mile-an-hour heater. I got a wipeout slider. Let's go, and everything, you know. But his body language and the way he goes about it, it's like he's out there with you know, stuff that is way below that.
That'll get through. Here comes Hayward. Zobrist to third. It's 4-3. Rizzo's 4th RBI of the young season. Still nobody out.
Mike Butcher out to the mound one more time. Mike has an appearance clause, but if he does, he might cash in on it this year. Good swing here by Rizzo. Cubs were off yesterday. The Diamondbacks were not, and they gave up, as we mentioned, a bunch of runs in that series with the Rockies. I'm not sure what kind of shape their bullpen is in. They actually made a change. They called Kyle Draybeck up from the minor leagues to supplement that bullpen. We may see some early action in that D-back pen.
Bryant doubled and scored in the second. And they'll give up the tying run for a shot at 2 here, trying to avoid the big inning. Bryant pops it up. Castillo trying to find some room, and he does. He ends up on his backside. Rizzo tags and heads to second, and it goes into the outfield. A run scores. Man, the heads up base running by Anthony Rizzo. He tagged from first. Castillo threw it into right field, and Zobrist scores, and it's 4-4.
Yeah, Anthony Rizzo with a gutsy play, and it pays off big time. Castillo going into backpedal mode as that ball worked its way back towards the infield. A great read by Rizzo, tagging up, anticipating possibility of taking advantage. And you see Castillo rolling back over, and no big hurry to turn around, and Rizzo takes advantage. That's a Billy Hamilton type play by the big fella.
Infield in, Tommy LaStella with his first plate appearance of the season. Just came in to play third. Rizzo is going to hold, and LaStella's tagged out. It's the second out. And it'll be up to Montero with 2 outs. There's Kyle Draybeck warming up in the Arizona pen. And the pitch, high chopper. Segura's got time, and that will end the inning. If the Cubs tie it up, that guy right in the middle of it, 4-4.
What would we be without our mountains? Without the things that stand in our way, that make us better? At Coors, our mountain is brewing the world's most refreshing beer. Lagered, filtered, and packaged cold. Our mountains make us who we are. Your mountains make you who you are. Whatever your mountain, climb on.
Performance reimagined. Style reinvented. Sophistication redefined. Introducing the all-new Lexus RX and RX Hybrid. Agile handling, available 12.3-inch navigation screen, and panorama glass roof. Never has luxury been this expressive. This is the pursuit of perfection.
At pledge allegiance to the flag, uniting all Kentucky Fried Chicken restaurants, and to the Colonel, for which he Sanders. Which means hand-breading and freshly preparing chicken the hard way. So I came back to make sure everything is still finger-licking good. Give our chicken another chance. One freshness, under American farms, daily hand-prepared, so help us Sanders. Chicken. Colonel quality guaranteed.
Chicago, your favorite trivia show is back for an all-new season. Join us for our first taping of Beer Money this Tuesday at Pinheads in Yorkville at 5:30 p.m. Test your sports trivia knowledge and you could win big. Beer Money, presented by Coors Light.
Hey, make sure you follow Patrick Mooney, our Cubs insider, all season long on Comcast Sportsnet, brought to you by Nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich. Visit Jeff at jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side. It has been a wild start tonight. Strike on Paul Goldschmidt. It's not even Halloween. The 0-1 from John Lackey, called strike 2.
He's trying to make an adjustment here. He knows his guys are putting up numbers for him, so it's a matter of him taking charge of this ball game. It all starts with fastball command down and away.
And a base hit. And Lackey's not happy with himself, but Paul Goldschmidt might be the most underrated player in the game right now. Would that be I mean, well, only Bryce Harper had a higher OPS.
Yeah.
You probably don't hear his name quite as much as some of the other elite guys.
Yeah, I think it's, his team hasn't been doing a whole lot of winning since he's been here. This market doesn't get a whole lot of national attention.
Goldschmidt around second. Matt Williams is going to send him. Peralta on his way to third. And the Diamondbacks lead again, 5-4. Single triple to start the third.
This isn't Coors Field, but this ballpark in many respects plays a lot like Coors. It's at altitude, not quite like Coors Field. But again, it's so big out there, and the grass is cut really tight. So the ball's scooting. It's almost like AstroTurf at times. Singles turn into doubles and sometimes triples as outfielders aren't able to cut it off. See, this is a line drive into shallow right center. Look at that thing scoot. And it goes all the way to that wall.
Well, you just have some nights like this. If you're John Lackey, you just try to give your team a fighting chance. Got to forget about your ERA, certainly. Fowler way in, and he makes a shoestring catch. Peralta will hold it third. Pretty important there, JD, that Fowler didn't leave his feet, because that might have allowed Peralta to try to tag and score.
Yeah, if he leaves his feet to try to make the catch or tumbles after making the catch, Peralta probably does score. And
so that's one out.
Yeah, and I also think if that's out number 2 right there, Peralta tries to score anyway, because he knows it's going to take Fowler a little while to right the ship to make that throw home. But the catch being just the first out, probably a good idea to play it conservatively.
So the infield will move in. Enough action for you here early? My goodness.
It's arena baseball.
We had a 1-2-3 top of the first and runs in every half inning since. And yes, we will give you a Kyle Schwarber update when we get one. Still nothing from the Cubs clubhouse. We do not want to speculate on the severity of his injury, as he had to leave a couple of innings or 1 inning ago. Outside, 2-1 the count. Bryant shot, and Bryant really couldn't set his feet. And it was certainly deep enough to get the run in. So a sacrifice fly for Lamb. He's knocked in 3 already, and it's 6-4.
That make him the sacrificial lamb?
It would.
Yeah, ball hit on a line. Chris has to retreat a little bit. Even if he's able to get behind that one, it would have been tough to throw Peralta out.
Two outs, bases empty, and now Tomas, that was a premeditated swing. Almost hit him in the head. By the way, Javier Baez, rehabbing from his thumb injury, did get hit by a pitch in the helmet recently, so that could possibly push his return back. Late swing.
Unlike De La Rosa, even though Lackey's getting hit around here tonight, he hasn't changed his tempo. He continues to work quickly. And you're right, you just have to have that mindset of, maybe tonight's not my night, but I'm going to hang in there the best I can and see if we can outpoint these guys.
Lackey strikes out Tomas, but 2 more for the Diamondbacks, and they lead 6-4 after only 3 innings.
Something doesn't feel right.
Green lights across the board. What's going on up there?
No backup system, Houston. I'm flying solo here.
Does he have it?
I'm on it. Re-entry in 3, 2, 1.
Thanks for the care package, Houston. Dinner's on me. Just another day in the rocket biz. Oh, fudge nuggets.
T-Mobile hit it out of the park in 2015. We doubled our LTE coverage, and now we cover over 305 million Americans. Our new extended range LTE goes 2 times farther and works 4 times better in buildings than before. Just in time for baseball season, T-Mobile customers can catch every moment all season long with a free MLB TV premium subscription. Hurry and sign up by April 10th at T-Mobile.com/MLB.
Nice car. Not so nice scratch. Wouldn't it be nice if removing ugly scratches from your car was this easy? Now with new Finish Scratch Doctor, removing surface scratches is easy. In fact, independent laboratory tests have proven Scratch Doctor to be the best scratch remover available. Scratch Doctor with advanced microtechnology also removes paint scrapes, scuffs, haze, and swirl marks. So get Scratch Doctor.
#1 rated Scratch Doctor, available at Advance Auto, Walgreens, Ace, Target, AutoZone, Walmart, and other leading stores.
Saturday night, get ready for a slugfest in primetime as Dexter Fowler and the boys try to blast the D-backs. Don't miss Game 3 of the series, live from Arizona. Cubs at Diamondbacks, Saturday night at 7 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Tuesday, tune into Sportsnet Central as Pat Boyle previews the upcoming playoff push for your Chicago Blackhawks. Sportsnet Central Blackhawks playoff preview, Tuesday at 10:30 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Minor league seasons are underway. The Iowa Cubs suffered a 7-3 loss to the Round Rock Express in Des Moines. Strike on Addison Russell. Double-A Tennessee Smokies, a winner. 3 home runs, 7-3 over Mobile. One ball, 1 strike. And the Pelicans, Myrtle Beach Pelicans, a 5-2 win over the Frederick Keys in the Carolina League.
Gleyber Torres. The Frederick Scott Keys. How about they're the Keys?
Possibly.
Frederick, Maryland. Francis Scott Key.
Gleyber Torres, a Cubs top prospect, went 1 for 4 with a double, an RBI, and scored twice. Batted second, playing short. 2-2. Ripped to right. And it eludes Peralta. Russell on his way to second. He's going to hold there with a double. I like what you call it, arena ball tonight.
Has the feel of a game that's going to take double digits to win. Now, you never know. Sometimes the pitchers settle in and take charge, or somebody will come out of that bullpen and change the tone. But right now, the hitters are feeling their oats. Third consecutive inning, the Cubs have had the leadoff man reach, and it's an off-field double this time for Russell.
Now, the odds of a John Lackey hit here are pretty low, but considering what's going on, I mean, do you just give up an out to get him to third?
I would imagine Joe would play the game the way he usually does, let him swing once and then bunt, perhaps. He didn't look comfortable in his at-bat last time, and sometimes that'll influence a manager's decision-making. With Goldschmidt in as tight as he is at first base, Lackey could get beat by a heater and just kind of punch one into right field for a base hit.
Now, this has looked like an NBA All-Star game here early. 160 to 158 final. 2 balls, no strikes on the pitcher.
Yeah, I assume taking here.
Ball 3. Well, De La Rosa's got a better argument for the second pitch, as you saw on our pitch tracks. Looked like it caught part of the zone, but that one did not.
Now Lackey will likely take 2 in a row.
Might he take 3?
He might take 3. I don't think he would be told to take 3. He's hacking.
And Russell's got a hold. So 1 out. And here's Fowler.
Not a bad swing at all.
Fowler has flied out and grounded out. Close. Russell got back in. Dodgers finally gave up some runs today after shutting out the Padres in that 3-game series. They got thumped 12-6 in the Giants' home opener. Driven out into deep right center, and it is off the wall. Russell will score. Fowler on his way to third. It's a triple. 6-5 now.
Stay hot, Dexter. De La Rosa continues to focus on base runners, and he probably shouldn't be. Fastball out over the plate for Fowler. Beautiful swing of the bat. He almost got out of here. A lot of guys between second and third look like they're running in quicksand. It looked to me like Dexter was accelerating.
Infield back except for Lamb at third, and Castile just saved a run, at least for the time being. Hunter Pence hit a grand slam in that Giants win. Joe Panik had 3 RBIs. Dodgers ended up with a 31-inning shutout streak. One short of the record to start a season. The 63 Cardinals went 32. One and one. Way outside. De La Rosa, his third career start against the Cubs. Gave up 7 earned runs in 11 innings, 2 starts last year, and then cuffing him around again tonight. 3-1. It's also the kind of night where each manager probably pulls the starter if the game weren't so tight.
Yeah, you're basically buying time because you continue to score. You feel like you can ask a little bit more out of your starter. It was Drayback earlier. Now it's Barrett throwing for the Diamondbacks.
3-1 change-ups, ball 4.
That's going to do it.
So the Cubs are down 1, but they have runners at first and third with only 1 out. A slugfest here in Arizona. 6-5 Diamondbacks in the 4th.
Hi, how can I help you?
Hi, we're on the adventure of a lifetime, and we need something that can keep up.
Well, the RAV4 is tech-savvy, has an NHTSA 5-star overall safety rating, and plenty of cargo space for your gear so you'll be ready for anything. Now, what kind of adventure are we talking about?
You're looking at him.
Aw, double trouble.
Right now, get 0% APR for 60 months on the all-new 2016 RAV4. Hurry in today. Toyota. Let's go places.
5 Hour Energy presents Why Are You So Tired? Ah, the after-lunch food coma. We've all been there. You had planned on ordering the salad, but the pasta and fries looked so good. Now you're trying to find a place to catch a few Z's without the boss catching you. Next time, grab a great-tasting 5 Hour Energy shot. It'll help you stay alert and productive no matter what's on the menu. Now is the time for 5 Hour Energy.
You're not gonna watch it. No, you're not gonna watch it. We can't let you download on the go. You'll just have to miss it. Yeah, you'll just have to miss it.
No thanks, I have X1 from Xfinity, so.
Don't fall for DirecTV. Xfinity lets you download your shows from anywhere. Sign up today or get started with this